Welcome to Shield, the announce of all things football. And now your host, the whole staff of FDRA/Fanning. Hey everybody, welcome back to Shoeing Show.
Are we taping?
Yeah, right now we're going live.
Here we go.
We're just straight up into it, baby. Well, happy end of year. Happy holidays. Some people are not so happy lately, but some people are happy. I don't know. It's a mixture. 2025 is going to be an interesting year. 2024, equally an interesting year. Behind the scenes, just to let you know, we are having our kind of staff end of year briefings. And so this episode has this is the first time ever.
It is the first time ever.
In more than 7,000 episodes, we've never done this before, that the entire staff is here to talk about.
Against their will.
Yeah, forced. We haven't paid out bonuses yet, so we've got to stay around. But we're going to cover 2024 perspective by each member of our staff, who all have different perspectives, all have different interests within footwear, but who have been dedicated to serving the footwear industry over this year. And I will say what's special about FDRA is we are focused on service to the industry. So there's, we dedicate ourselves to every event we do, every newsletter we do, to excellence and trying to provide information to our members to make better business decisions and to strengthen their positions in the marketplace. And so I think we're really proud about that. But Matt, as we go into 2025, we wanted to review 2024 in particular.
Yes.
And so I don't know how you want to do this because we got a round robin going here, but I'll let you take the lead of pinpointing who you want to put to the firing squad first.
Thomas Crockett.
All right, here we go. Tommy.
He hates that, by the way. Tommy.
Yeah.
Or
No,
Tom.
Tommy.
If you email Thomas back and it says Tom, you've done a disservice to Thomas Crockett. Just FYI, FDRA members.
I wasn't going to come out that strong, but I prefer Thomas. What's the question? Are we saying what the highlight
2024 year in review. Like, what's your takeaway? From your perch, what were...
Both FDRA, but also the industry abroad. Like, what really stuck with you as to what was maybe a big news story you saw in 24 that, from your position... you focus a lot on trade and tax and operation side. Like, what are the big stories?
I mean, the election. I mean, how can we not? Yeah, how can we not mention that? I mean, it was, I think the economy obviously factored heavily into that, and kind of reading the tea leaves on that and seeing, it's going to be an interesting 2025. We spent a lot of 2024 kind of getting ready for that and preparing for the different scenarios. So I think our Portland event, even going back to our New York event, we were kind of gearing up for what could happen. And I think we were positioned well either way. But to me, that was one of the biggest stories of 2024.
So right off the bat, he drops the T word. So,
yeah,
all right,
there went our listens. Boo! No one wants to listen to that anymore. All right, next up, Jolie.
2024. So this one's 2 years with FDRA, going into year 3.
Yay!
Woo!
Right.
Hit that clap button.
But yeah, no, I had a really good year. I felt the pressure this year too. I think, first year you're training, so second year I subconsciously brush up on a lot of like the terms and stuff like that. Just another year of growth.
Foxing like band. Is that one of them?
Yeah.
We just lost some more listeners, guys. Everybody.
Just Andy's mom and my parents. That's all.
I mean, this year it's something small, but at our shoe trade logistics summit, we had the Jeopardy, and I was subconsciously answering the questions. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I knew some of these. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to 2025.
You're fully a shoe nerd at this point.
Yep.
Good job. Congratulations. All right. Sandy, what say you?
What did we accomplish this year that I was most proud of? Probably bringing in a boatload of new members. I think we had 46 new members this year.
Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah.
We
Live
had
action, baby.
a phenomenal Shoes for a Cure turnout. We launched in Miami, Shoes for a Cure. That's pretty exciting. Raised a lot of money for breast cancer research. I'm really proud of that. And Fanny Cocktail Party sold out in August at the Bryant Park Grill. I don't think that's ever happened before. Over 200 people signed up. I had huge groups of people coming, and that was a blast.
That was a blast.
A really great time. I'm really glad that
We
I
ordered a tent.
suggested that we ordered the tent. There was extreme downpours, and I was going to risk it. And
So hot
Yes.
and rainy and packed.
yes, and just dripping the rain coming onto everyone's head. That was fun. It's like a bonus.
So sign up for the August cocktail party
Yeah,
today.
that was
During
really
the door.
fun.
All right, Mr. Raines, Gary Raines.
It's been an interesting year as the resident buzzkill. There's always, maybe the kind of echoing Sandy. There's always sunlight to go at the rain, and we saw that this year. While we saw footwear imports grow and footwear consumption grow, it didn't grow for everybody. We saw breakdowns between different categories. That some fared well, and some didn't fare quite so well. So I'm looking to see a bit more of the passage of the repercussions from COVID in 2025. That is kind of we return to the new normal in the wake of COVID, and everything kind of gets back to this new normal in the wake of COVID. That we get further away from.
Dude, you said you're buzzkill and you said COVID 3 times in like one sentence. I haven't heard that word in a month or 2 or maybe 3. So good job.
Yeah, well, what was the Tuesday call a couple of months ago? I think I said murder maybe 6 times. Quoting an economist that.
Next.
And his mom is out. Just my parents are holding on.
Sure. I was paraphrasing a famous economist whose big quote was that there's always something that murders an economy. And
remember that.
Yeah, talked about that. There
I
was
said, I think if I recall, we're playing a drinking game on how many times Gary says murder, we're all toasted at this point.
so leave it to us to incorporate murder and and WWE and
Are you that dude or the insurance guy or Mayhem? Is that who you are?
Exactly. But no, looking forward to right now, there is no murder on the horizon. So it's suggesting we're likely to see the economy do well and presumably see footwear consumption do well on into 2025.
Oh, we hold that thought, man. That is a teaser. See, Gary's doing something really interesting there. He's teasing the episode will come out the first of the year. So everyone needs to stay in tune for what Gary actually thinks about the economy in 2025. So 2024, murder, death, and mayhem. Got it. All right. So
Great year, but
it was a great year. It's a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, the creative life force behind FDRA is one Ashley Moore. Ashley, I don't think it's ever been on the podcast, and against her will is on this one. And so Ashley, from your perspective, as you look at 2024, what are like some of the key highlights of kind of the creative side of FDRA? What are you most proud of that we pushed out and published this year?
I was more thinking about our membership, like just being inspired by the people I met at BFF and started following on LinkedIn and all the creativity of the students and footwear designers in the industry. But as far as what we pushed out, I'm proud of a lot of it. Like Shoes for a Cure and a lot of our event graphics and websites.
If you go to FDRA.org, it is Ashley's, baby, if you will. Yeah, it is like anytime we look good visually, it's Ashley. So we really appreciate all that you do.
It was hard to fill Andy's graphic designer shoes when I started.
That's funny.
There's only upside.
That is true.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right, so Bria, closes out 2024, at least for this round of questions. What were some of your highlights?
I would say my biggest highlight is just working with this amazing team. Everyone is so funny, just so kind. It's just awesome to work with. And I have to highlight the marketing team, which I work on, which is Ashley, Jolie, and Andy. But it's a joy to work with them. And so I would say that's the biggest highlight, just being able to work with this super innovative and dynamic team for an entire year and to do some really awesome work and projects.
That's nice. Gary wants to murder everybody, and Sabrina loves us. It's amazing.
That speaks to the American psyche at this point in time. So it's kind of the zeitgeist of the moment. I think a lot of what we did really well this year is build community. We have events and places that bring people together that don't normally meet and don't normally interact and have an opportunity to talk to each other. And it's not business development. It's really relationship development, both with us, but also with other people in the industry. And I think it's something that, while digital events, we had to do a lot of those during COVID, we've really reemerged in our events in Portland and Boston and other parts of the country through BFF, bringing people to our industry. and connect them in ways that no one else can. So I'm really proud of that community building and the content that we provide to help people. I think some of the things I'm concerned about is like workforce challenges that we're seeing. We have a lot of companies broadly across the country having back return to work issues. I think the economy is still teetering. I see some folks, having restructuring. So I'm a little bit concerned about some of our workforce. And I think that's why I think about community and bringing people together. And we have a lot of talent that's looking for jobs right now too. And so a lot of opportunity. From product category, I think the big surprise for me this year is how boots have really become a reemergence. We always talk about athletic for the last several years and comfort, but like Boot Barn and their expansion and boots in general and work boots have really kind of had this kind of reemergence in all these conversations, right? So I think from a product standpoint, that'll be interesting to watch. And I think, other categories are doing quite well too. Birkenstock's up. They had a really great quarter, so they're up. The reemergence of Nike, I think in 25 will be the biggest story because athletic continues to grow leaps and bounds. Nike's kind of been this sleeping giant for the past couple of years. You have new leadership and you have kind of a new vision and I think a lot more focus on product development, product itself. And I think in 25, Nike's going to kind of reawaken, and I think it's going to change the marketplace in very interesting, dynamic, and maybe hopefully fun ways. But my hope is it does it and it re-energizes the entire industry and all categories get a boost as well, right? So sometimes when we see product in the marketplace is very dynamic, we think, oh, well, they'll do quite well, but hopefully it spills over to other folks as well too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, Nike is a sleeping giant in the sense that they're our largest company, they're our most dynamic company. But with the new leadership, we've already seen changes. They showed up big at the running event, Sandy, and I saw an ad recently. It was all about running, technical running. So getting back to product and athlete, I think is a part of Elliott Hill's strategy. So I'm bullish on Nike as well. But you're right, Andy. A rising tide lifts all boats, and I think the beauty of the athletic space, it's competitive, right? These are competitive companies by nature.
Yeah, Hoka.
Hoka on. I think those guys will continue to dominate and figure out, there's a saturation point for a lot of these brands. So what is the next great thing? And I think these guys, they'll figure it out and it'll be super competitive. Now, one thing we haven't done in a while that I think would be fun to do is what you got, what you getting. Meaning we don't do it every episode, but what's a pair of shoes that you bought this year? Why'd you buy them? What was the purpose? Was it one of the brands we just talked about? Was it an emerging brand? I think that'd be fun. I'm calling an audible. So I'm looking at you, Gary. We're going to start with you. What pair of shoes did you buy this year?
Bought a pair of, let's hold this until after Christmas, but bought a pair of Kookaburras for the wife.
It's coming out on Monday, dude. Does she listen to this?
She won't listen.
The fourth listening.
It's coming out December 23rd.
That's right. Yeah, so honey, I hope you're not listening, but
It'll be fine.
All right, we're keeping that part in, Blake.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Sabrina.
I bought a pair of On Clouds this year, a super comfortable shoe. This is my first pair of Ons, but I love them. They're like black, white. I have to share a picture. But yeah, it was a great purchase. I'm super happy with my Ons.
Sweet. Bought some Ons. All right, Jolie.
I got some New Balance 9060s. If I'm being completely honest, they're all the hype right now, and I found a colorway I liked, so that's why I got them.
We love you immensely, and that's why we will forgive you for your cardinal sin of buying New Balance, the one company that's not an FDRA member in all of footwear land. So
It's okay, I'll get them for us.
all right, we appreciate that. All right, Sandy.
I bought a pair of UGG Tasmans, and I love them. I wear them all of the time. I saw my kids wearing them, and I saw everyone else wearing them, and I went for it, and I get it now. So I'm a fan.
Good job. All right, Ashley, what say you?
I already told the team that I ordered a pair of the Uno's SZ
Oh,
Is that what
yeah.
they're called?
Size.
Yeah.
So it's
That
Uno.
Dwayne designed
Yep.
for my sister who has 2 different size feet. I thought that would be helpful, but I actually also got myself a pair, so they're not here yet.
So if you listen to the podcast we just did with Dwayne, he explains the whole SZ journey where he had a cease and desist letter because he had SIZE. Then he thought he would just do SIZ maybe, and then it just turned into SZ. So I think that's the reason why it's SZ and phonetically is pronounced size. Andy, what'd you buy?
I was given a pair of Reebok float zigs, which were super comfortable. Really impressed with those shoes. Very sustainable. We did a sustainability meeting at Reebok this year in Boston. And ahead of that meeting, I told them I wanted to buy something, their most sustainable shoe, and they sent me these. So I was very grateful for that, for my own financial sustainability, but also to wear recycled content, etc., as we talked about that. And I did buy myself recently a pair of slippers from R.G. Berry, Deer Foam.
Nice. The Papa Bear ones?
I already have a pair of those.
Uh-huh.
I got a new pair for the winter. I don't remember what they're called, but they're like they remind me of my pawpaw. It's like a corduroy type look a little bit, so a little old school.
Rest in peace, Pawpaw.
Yep, rest in peace, R.I.P. But yeah, so that's what I've got, and then my wife bought a lot of shoes this year of all kinds of brands. So you're all welcome.
So that reminds me, you mentioned Boston. I think we didn't, going back to the highlights, talk about the Celtic game and all that, because I wasn't there. My daughter was graduating from high school, and I'll come back to you, Thomas, in a second and ask what you bought. But walk us through real quick what happened in Boston.
Well, I think Sandy could take the lead, but Bob.
I heard there was a dance-off, Andy.
Andy, shout out.
It was an RG Berry.
And he was expecting a picture of us at the board meeting that we didn't have, so apologies. But that we single-handedly saved the Boston Celtics season for sure. They admitted that. They admitted that. The reason we won the championship is because we were there.
Sandy's got a confused look.
It was an overtime game. It was an awesome
Well, they
game.
were down like 5 points with a minute left. It was an amazing game.
And your gold chain. And
I had a gold chain.
Yep.
Of course I did. Well, I wouldn't have a gold chain.
RG Berry did a wonderful job of hosting us after our sustainability workshop that was hosted by Reebok. And we had a really, really fun night out in one of their, what is the rafter
It's like a
boxes
skybox or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a lot of fun. There was like music and food and energy and dancing.
It was fun too because like we got to meet like their logistics folks and their marketing person and their fulfillment person and like so people that may not attend our events, but it was nice to build community.
Great. And the Celtics won. And
we all had a good time.
It was so much
great
fun.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was nice dance moves.
Yeah,
I saw the videos.
It was tough getting out of the garden that night, though. Afterwards, it was tough. There was a huge, massive crowds of very intoxicated.
At least everybody was happy. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
They could have been burning cars or something.
Mostly it was Andy, but yes.
I'm sorry, was that an S at the start of that? Sandy? Yes, you're right. Because somebody brought wine in the Uber with them on the way over, okay? Don't throw stones at glass houses.
Okay, I take it.
Got some FDRA confessions going on here. Oh, man. Tom, what shoes did you buy?
Wow. All right. Yeah. So I got some Keen. I don't know if you remember these. Anybody was? You remember these? I've got a picture here. These are maybe not something that I would normally
you want me to
wear.
describe
Yeah.
it,
Who wants to describe these? So these
looks
are
like a shoe.
Yeah.
It's got laces. Midsole,
You know it.
upper, outsole.
So these are the KS86 Keen shoes. I was actually talking to Sarah Bauer Socks with Keen about shoes, and she was saying these shoes go with anything. They're great, and that sold me on it. So when I went to the when I went to the Keen store, I was like, yeah, tough sell.
40% discount.
Right.
I sold you
No, these were great. I wore them to the sustainability event, and they're retro. I like retro stuff. So yeah, it was a good purchase, and I really like them. They're good shoes.
That's awesome. Well, on the 2025 preview prediction episode, you will all be asked what you plan to buy in 2025. So just be forewarned. All right. I'm looking at you, Ashley.
Did we get to Matt? Did Matt do what he's?
What I mean, I bought so many shoes this year, which is like every year for me. It's like me and Kelly Polk are two peas in the pod, and Andy's frustrated by both of them.
Text back and forth like, did you get to do it? Of course I did. Duh.
I got some. What did I got? I got some Adidas this year. I got some Unitas, which is an emerging sneaker brand. I got some Nikes, of course. I bought D-Wayne shoes from Target, like Ashley did. I'm sure there's.
This is like the number of shrimp in Forrest Gump, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So I'm always buying shoes. I'm always representing. So no shame. Which I feel shameful. I feel like shame all of a sudden about it.
It would be weird if you didn't.
It would be weird if I didn't. Thank you. This is. I thought this might turn into an intervention, and then actually you're just affirming my addiction. So it's beautiful. All right. So I think I'm going to hand this back over to Mr. Polk because I think we now understand how amazingly awesome and terrifying this year was. So I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, there's some. There's a lot of positive. I just think it was topsy-turvy year, politically, economic, uncertainty around every corner. I actually think after the election, there's a lot of certainty. You may not like the certainty, but there is certainty, one way or the other. Obviously, with tariffs, we'll wait and see. But there's going to be something. So, stay close to FDRA as we go into 25 because we're planning our events right now, and they're going to be even more dynamic and impactful than they were this past year and help people, I think, make better, faster decisions on a range of different issues. And, again, facilitate community-driven engagement and, our marketplace weeks in New York City have been really dynamic this year and will continue to be as people gather and figure out cost, price, and trend. And we'll be at the center of all that, making sure, again, it's the start of it, as servants of the industry, doing what's best for the industry to help it grow and become more dynamic and provide great footwear to consumers.
I got one more plug,
Yeah.
shameless plug. Ashley, what's the URL for the FDRA merch shop where you can get Shoe and Show gear at this very moment?
FDRAstore.org.
FDRAstore.org. It sounds like a charity store. It's awesome. FDRAstore.org.
There you go.
Almost
Buy your
rhymes.
gear. And happy holidays, everybody. We wish you the best. Please take some time for yourself and your family. Catch your breath. We'll be back in 2025 with some amazing content. Some new folks will be joining us on the Shoe and Show. But again, this is the preeminent footwear industry podcast where we talk to people about their shoe stories, their journeys, how they're looking at the marketplace, looking at product, etc. And it's been a real joy and pleasure to do that with the whole team here today and throughout the year. We appreciate you listening. And please share this with your colleagues. Please let them know about the Shoe and Show so that we can grow our audience and strengthen the industry. Shoeandshow.com is the full catalog. And until next time, Shoe In is out.
Shoe In has been brought to you by the FDRA, the Footwear Industries Association focused on retail, trade, politics, and fashion, helping create and enhance conversations on all things footwear. For information about FDRA, visit fdra.org.